Old Spice College Lacrosse. You're watching the ACC on ESPN from Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, where it might be March, but this one has a May feel to it, like the last time these two teams went head-to-head. This Tar Heels team riding into championship weekend on a 27-game win streak.
We'd scream and fight till the end of the night.
All the momentum in maroon and gold right now.
Unbelievable.
What a win for BC.
This is like the best feeling ever.
Did I deserve what you did to me? I'll be your hero. Make you feel safe till the end. I'll be your hero. I'll be your hero.
It's a new season, but a lot of familiar faces from that dramatic semifinal. And what more do you want? Two teams that enter undefeated. This is going to set up to be a terrific matchup. Number one, Boston College. Number two, North Carolina. More like 1A, 1B. Sheehan Stanwyck, Birch, Jay Alter with you. We'll be joined by Dana Boyle in just a second. But it's clear, Sheehan, these two teams have separated themselves from the pack.
They are the best of the best. So much star power on both the rosters, both undefeated, and we get that rematch of the semifinal game, which was so great.
Two best teams, it makes sense. Two best players in the country as well.
So much offensive firepower. Number 3, Jamie Ortega for the Tar Heels. She's a career leader in points. She's a lefty. She's an excellent finisher. She's got a nose for the goal. Just really slippery, great timing, great cuts, gets into the perfect space to finish when it counts. And on the other side, it's the Tewaratana winner, number 8, Charlotte North. Everyone knows her name, the best player in the game. She's got it all. Coach Keisha Walker-Weinstein says she's faster and stronger than ever before. She's deceptive, got excellent fakes, got such power and range. She just delivers when it counts and gets the rest of her teammates involved.
Look at the numbers. Those two headline what is a star-studded game today in Chestnut Hill. And, of course, the backdrop for the game, last year's dramatic semifinal. How does that factor into today, Dana Boyle?
Well, Jay, this is a good litmus test for both of these teams. We spoke to the coaches earlier in the week. They're grateful for the competition so early in the season as they get into the bulk of their ACC schedule. But for North Carolina, this game is personal. The only 2 losses that UNC has suffered in the last 43 games have come from Boston College. If you're UNC, you remember that pain. Jenny Levy and her team remember the pain of being undefeated in the regular season, then falling to BC by 1 goal in the national semifinal in 2021. Jay, with both rosters so saturated with talent, whoever can control the tempo and minimize turnovers is going to come out victorious this afternoon.
Charlotte North and Boston College in gold. Ali Mastriani and the Tar Heels in Carolina blue. Two teams that enter unbeaten. One will emerge the clear number 1 team in the country here in March. We are underway in Chestnut Hill, and it's the Eagles that start with the ball. And Charlotte North gets all the attention, all the accolades, but this is a team that can beat you so many different ways offensively, Shia.
They do. They have so much skill. Both these teams, number 1 and number 2 in the nation in assists, can work the ball around, lots of different scoring threats. Charlotte North gets a lot of the headlines, but she's got an excellent supporting class. Jen Medja right behind her, Belle Smith, Caitlin Mossman, the list goes on. So much talent.
Here's Cassidy Weeks, has a step in attack mode. Double team comes over, almost took a bounce into the Tar Heel goal, but Marino scoops it up. You talk about all the firepower for Boston College. North Carolina can match it on the offensive end, led by Jamie Ortega. Struggling to get it into settled play. Nice recovery by Emily Dawes, and now the Tar Heels can set up shop. Dana, what's the Boston College game plan defensively to stop Jamie Ortega in this Tar Heels attack?
We spoke to Coach Keisha Walker-Weinstein earlier in the week, and she told us she expects everyone on the defensive end for Boston College to know their matchups and do their job well, communicate. But you got to remember there's 2 freshmen that were on the national championship field, and Sydney Scales and Hunter Roman. they've got big jobs as sophomores, especially Sydney Scales, 44. She's going to match up against Jamie Ortega. That's a big, tall task, but something they can handle, and they've got experience doing so.
Yeah, held Ortega to just 1 goal in the semifinal last May, just as a freshman, Sydney Scales. This is a confident and young Boston College defense. 25 seconds left on the shot clock for the Tar Heels to operate. This is Elizabeth Hillman. Off to Ortega. One-on-one with Sydney Scales. Goes left. Couldn't get the hands free. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking for Aldave inside. And 2 terrific defensive stands to get this game started.
That is just an excellent defensive effort for Boston College. The shot clock expires. They will maintain possession. But gotta credit the one-on-one defense for Boston College, really working as a unit, playing great one-on-one, forcing UNC to the sides, not giving them a great angle.
And this is a great example. Everybody loves to talk about Ortega, North, offense, offense, offense. These 2 teams are the best 2 teams in the country for a reason. They're a well-balanced team. These are the 2 best defenses in the country as well, as Caitlin Mossman, the lefty, opens the scoring for Boston College.
You mentioned the defense. That started on the BC defense, getting possession there, transitioning downfield. Watch Mossman, number 7, lefty attacker, works very well behind the crease, and she is really alone with her defender on an island. Great job of BC clearing out space. She's able to give a little pump fake high, fires it right by Moreno.
Mossman, more known for feeding, leads the team with 12 assists, but certainly capable of scoring. And she did so there to open the scoring in this game. The draw control circle, so vital. And these are 2 of the best in the entire country as well. Well-rounded. You got to be good in all phases of the game. And certainly Charlotte North and Ali Mastriani, 2 of the best.
They are really amazing, and this is going to be a fun matchup to watch. 3 people from each team participate in this draw circle, and they fight for the ball. And one of the key things, Charlotte North and Ali Mastriani do a nice job of winning to themselves. So it'll be key to try to get that to the wing players, try to make it a 50-50 ball to get possession. And a good win for the Tar Heels.
Ortega going right into Scales through the double team. Eagles doing a great job just matching step for step right now. They are locked in to start this game defensively.
Great defense. They teach you as a defender, get your stick up, get it in the passing lane, getting in the shooting lane. You saw Sydney Scales with her stick up there, which deflects the shot.
Mastriani spins free, crossfield pass. Carolina known for such good ball movement. This time an individual effort stuffed out by Rachel Hall. Remember Hall, she had that season-high 11 saves in the semifinal against this Tar Heels team. She'll come in with a lot of confidence today.
She definitely will. And right before the game, as they were announcing the BC starters, they had a great highlight reel of championship weekend showcasing the wins over UNC and Syracuse. And you know all those emotions were brought back to the forefront for both these teams.
This is Charlotte North, her first touch of the game. Matched up against Emma Trenchard. North, the double team, and she's fouled. Elizabeth Hillman made contact there.
Watch this matchup right here. Number 23 in blue, Emma Trenchard, one of the best defenders in the game. Teammates with Charlotte North on the US team. The double team comes here, which is what you need to do to try to slow down Charlotte North. Excellent pressure. They get called for the foul. Sets Charlotte North up for the 8-meter.
Rears back and fires. A human highlight reel. Charlotte North makes it 2-0 Eagles.
You foul Charlotte North and put her on the 8-meter, and she is tough to beat. She has excellent power. She just gets so much sheer strength, drops her stick low, rockets it high to the top corner. Extremely deceptive. Goalies have not been able to solve her. And Taylor Moreno in cage is one of the best in the nation, and also plays against her and the U.S. team in their training, so definitely knows what she likes to do, but North is so tough to stop.
You're going against an All-American goalkeeper, an All-American defender, and Emma Trenchard, and yet Charlotte North makes it look so easy. The speed of that shot, it's just unparalleled.
Speed, accuracy. She's shooting about 63% on the season, which is amazing. Figuring out that she's normally being face guarded, double teamed, best defender on her, and then heads right back to the draw circle, which she's been very dominant for BC her last 2 years.
You're speaking with North Carolina head coach Jenny Levy this week. She told us it's really hard to scout Charlotte North. Just find somebody who can do the things that she does, simulate it in practice, because she is so unique. And there's only one of her.
Great look at the draw. Olivia Dirks is nicely able to come up with that draw control possession.
Dirks, the transfer from Penn State, was the Big Ten midfielder of the year last year for the Nittany Lions. She adds another dimension to this Tar Heels offense that is just so deep. I mean, they're always deep, and yet feel even deeper this season.
The transfer portal was once again very kind to North Carolina. Dirks, as you mentioned, a huge star in the midfield. Andy Aldave from Notre Dame, Sam Geiersbach from Richmond. And they fit in seamlessly and just made this Tar Heel team that much better.
In the midfield unit, Sheehan, was something that Jenny Levy said she felt like was the weakest last year, and now that they have those transfers as part of the midfield unit, she seems super confident in the fact that the midfield is now maybe one of the strongest assets of her team.
Forsberger feeds for Ortega. Back to Dirks. Here's Olivia Dirks weaving through traffic. What a move! Olivia Dirks pulls one back for the Tar Heels.
Excellent individual effort for Dirks. The junior, she's got 3 years left though with the Tar Heels, and just does an amazing job dodging from up top. Great stick protection, gets it back into her right hand and just slips that one by Rachel Hall. Watch just the weaving. The sticks and the defense is trying to collapse for Boston College, but they're not able to get on her hands and deflect that shot. And Dirks makes it a 1-goal game.
Waiting to see if they gave Jamie Ortega credit for the assist. If they did, she would tie Sam Apuzzo for points. It's something to watch as this game unfolds. Ortega comes in with 396 points, so 4 from 400, but 1 point away from Boston College's Sam Apuzzo, who's now on the coaching staff here for the Eagles. And 2 points in this game will pass her and make her second all-time in the ACC.
Schleicher with an excellent draw control, such great speed. What an excellent check for UNC. We'll see who gets up this 50-50 ball.
Mossman has it. Great hustle to fend off the 2 Tar Heels that were in hot pursuit. Here's Jen Medjid. Over to North. And Belle Smith, the sophomore. Tried to get the hands free, foul called.
Good call by the officials. That was a shooting space violation. Both these teams do a great job of allowing people to try to get a good look on Cage on their offensive end. Clearing through, overloading aside, gave Belle Smith a lot of time and room to try to get that shot off.
A great day for women's lacrosse continues here in Chestnut Hill. Sheehan Stanwyck Birch, Dana Boyle, Jay Alter with you. The top 2 teams in the country in for a battle. Here's Charlotte North trying to add to this 2-1 Eagles lead. Ducks between the double team, in the crease, turnover.
Great defensive stop. You can hear the cheers coming from the UNC sideline on that. Anytime Charlotte North, you deny her getting a shot off or good luck on Cage, that is a win. We'll see if UNC can push the transition.
And that was good defensive defensive by Emma Trenchard. We weren't sure if we were going to see her in this game. She had an ankle injury. She came out in the Northwestern game, and Jenny Levy said if she's healthy, she's going to mark up on Charlotte North, and that was great defensive positioning.
It was Boston College who took the early 2-0 lead. Tar Heels pulled one back on their previous possession. Ortega, great feed, and it's all tied at 2. Andy Aldave found the perfect position inside the Boston College defense. And buckle up, we're gonna have a fun one in Chestnut Hill.
Back and forth action. Excellent passing on display. Watch Ortega, all eyes on her. She dishes it to Aldave, and they get a tie ball game. It's 2-2.
Old Spice College Lacrosse is brought to you by Old Spice. Smell ready for anything.
Dream big, mate.
You're looking at a magical night in November. The Boston College women's lacrosse team celebrating their national championship, the first one in school history. Look at the size of those rings. And you know, it's funny, talking with head coach Acacia Walker-Weinstein, she said even though they're the reigning national champions, she still feels like they're the underdogs. They're the hunter, not the hunted.
And they really embrace that mentality. But she says, you know, it doesn't matter that we won. Every time we come up against UNC, we are the underdog. And I like that mentality. I want everyone on our team to be the aggressor. But they got the rings to prove it, that they deserve to be #1 last year. And the fight is on to hold on to that #1 spot today as these two undefeated teams get a rematch of that semifinal game.
They got out to an early 2-0 lead. Charlotte North with an early goal on a free position. Then Carolina came back and scored 2 goals in under 2 minutes to tie it at 2. Two undefeated teams. It feels like May, a postseason matchup, and here we are in March. But whoever emerges victorious in this game will definitely nose in front as the title favorites for this season.
I love speaking to both coaches that we're going to see it. Looks like another crease violation. So that rule is, as an offensive player, you're not able to touch the circle surrounding the goal. 6-foot diameter there. You cannot, your foot cannot touch the line. Your stick can cross it on a shot. That's a turnover. Both these coaches, though, just talking about how this is a great measuring stick for their teams, that they're so excited to play. They want to play the best of the best. They all want to be the best. And a matchup like today shows you where you need to improve.
Off the pipe, Mastriani with a head of steam, inches away from taking the first lead for Carolina. It'll stay Tar Heels possession. This was a North Carolina team that entered championship weekend a year ago, title favorites, 20-0 in the regular season, and then all stuffed out by Boston College in that 11-10 dramatic semifinal. Well, UNC, in their last 45 games, they've only lost twice, and it's both been to this BC team, both in the national semifinal.
Great double team for Boston College.
Miscommunication there. Scotty Rose Growney didn't see the pass coming from Ortega. Bounced right off her. BC ball.
I thought that went off Boston College, and it should be UNC ball. We'll see what the ref's having some discussion now. Let's take another look here. So good double team, and that goes off Boston College.
The knee.
And so on a shot, it's whoever gets the end line quickest will get the ball. But it was back in Boston College stick, so.
Yeah, our officials today, Larry Carr, Judy Strong, and Jason Brightful. It was off Scotty Rose Growney's stick, but you're right, it was off a Boston College knee. They don't have the benefits of replay. So Boston College ball, Rachel Hall well out of her cage. We saw how important she was in the national championship season a year ago. Not just making saves, but in the clearing game as well. This is a really tough Tar Heels ride typically.
We talked about the transfer portal for UNC, that 27 in goal, Courtney Taylor, big-time transfer for Temple's, made her presence known on the defensive end, leads the team in caused turnovers.
Martello splits the defenders and scores. Kayla Martello fires Boston College back in front.
BC's done an excellent job transitioning from defense to offense, setting it up, getting some quick looks on Cage. Watch the sophomore here, great fancy footwork. Once again, releases that shot before the double team's able to come. UNC's gonna need to start to send these slides a bit earlier and collapse, get on the hands, and try to put some more pressure on the shooters.
Acacia Walker-Weinstein has built this program into a national powerhouse. 4 straight championship weekends in a row, the reigning national champions. And they're going against one of, if not the best goalie in the country, Taylor Moreno. And Dana, they have got 3 shots on target, made all of them. Moreno, no saves so far in this first quarter.
And that's something BC's been practicing. The ball movement, like Sheehan mentioned, has dramatically improved every game thus far for Boston College. But when you move the ball, it's hard defensively to mark up. And that was a great shot by Kayla Martello. She's a real good downhill dodger.
Boston College in front 3-2. You just get the sense, Sheehan, this is going to be back and forth all afternoon long.
I mean, just when you look on paper, just so much strength between these two teams, offense, defensively, in the midfield, a lot of similarities, and they can answer each other's scores.
Shooting space violation sets up an opportunity to tie it on the free position.
The officials will get everyone set up correctly.
The transfer from Richmond. One-on-one with Rachel Hall, speeds in, missed it wide. Carolina has the backup though.
Caitlin Wurzberger, number 13 in blue, has done a great job of being really a distributor, filling in some of the role from Katie Hogue, but another great ground ball pickup for Boston College.
Taylor recovers it and settles it for the Eagles. She had mentioned Courtney Taylor, the transfer from Temple. Acacia Walker-Weinstein said they actually played Temple in the second round a year ago in the NCAA tournament and just fell in love with her on tape, went into the transfer portal, made her an Eagle. That's Marino's first save of the day.
I love that story. She said, I was sitting down and I got an email and said, is this the Courtney Taylor that we fell in love with when we were scouting them? the player with the long braid, and it was, and we're gonna see a yellow card issued here.
Goes against Belle Smith, the star sophomore.
So take a look, watch the extension of the arms there. So Belle Smith will be sidelined for up to 2 minutes. It is a releasable, but 2 yellow cards and you have to be removed from the player needs to be removed from the game.
So Jamie Ortega and this talented Tar Heels offense goes woman up for the first time today.
The shot clock still is in effect.
The quarterback, Wurzberger, behind the cage. Great feed in front, too easy. Andy Aldave cashes in on the woman up opportunity to tie it at 3.
Not sure why that BC opted to pressure behind the cage, especially when you're playing a player down. Just made it extremely easy for UNC to find the open person. Geiersbach gets it right inside. Excellent reach, and Aldave is able just to fire that in. Just complete miscommunication there. Obviously, they have one extra player out there. Somebody is open, but UNC finishes that one perfectly.
Aldave's second goal of the afternoon. You mentioned how Jenny Levy did so well in the transfer portal. Went in interconference on that one. Transfer from Notre Dame. Aldave battled injuries really all of last season. The entire season was not 100%, but boy, she looks like her old self now in a Tar Heel uniform.
She has just broken out. 6 goals in her last game. Just so smart. They've moved her. She played a midfield role at Notre Dame, up and down. Huge factor on the draw. Broke the career draw record at Notre Dame. And here she's more on the attacking end. Could save her energy. Jem Medja, the number 2 scorer for Boston College, has been quiet so far.
Has it here.
She's one of the best shooters that Boston College has. Very slippery.
Really good in the 2-woman game with Charlotte North. Creates a space for North. Couldn't get the hands free. Splits the double team. She is so crafty. Went into contact, no call. Boston College has the backup. Medja spins to her left hand. Not a clean shot. Stays with BC.
Emily Knowles on her for UNC number 1, doing a nice job one-on-one.
McKenna Davis, the talented freshman. There's a Tar Heel down. Davis was trying to pass that. Instead, it flies into the back of the net. There was a North Carolina defender down right in the middle. They opted to play on, and Davis capitalizes.
Davis, just a freshman, 6th goal this season. A lot of confusion happening when the player goes down for UNC. No stoppage in play.
Yeah, she was trying to pass that ball.
Yeah, and not a great pass, but it turns into a great goal. Yeah, very tough for Marino to even see that or track that. But count that one for the freshman, and BC takes a 1-goal lead.
That's something that isn't talked about a lot with this Boston College team, because Charlotte North, and rightly so, gets a lot of the attention and the accolades. This is a really young nucleus of the Eagles team. Davis, a freshman, Belle Smith, a sophomore, Mallory Hasselback, the number 1 freshman in the country, and then their defensive line filled with sophomores as well.
But a lot of experience on this BC team. Every starter, except for Kara Urbank, who was a huge factor in BC's success last year, returned. And once you have that confidence from winning a national championship, it does something different for your program. You taste that success, you know what it takes to win, and it transitions to play the newcomers coming into the program.
One minute left to this opening quarter. Boston College leading 4-3. The 2 best teams in the country, both undefeated. Has lived up to the hype so far. Errant pass there will give BC the ball back with the 45 seconds to work with at the end of the quarter.
Just uncharacteristic turnover. Managing the end of quarters has been a real point of emphasis for coaches this year as the game switched from halves to 4 quarters. And now it's going to give Boston College another opportunity to get a good look on Cage if they can get set.
Well, they got plenty of time, 25 seconds left. Trying to capitalize on a Tar Heels turnover. North Carolina's committed 4 in this first quarter. Belle Smith lost it. Scooped up by Mossman. Spins, inches away from scoring. Marino out of her cage. And that will do it for this first quarter. Boston College in a battle of 2 unbeatens in the ACC, an early 4-3 lead 15 minutes in.
Excellent defensive stop for UNC. Boston College had a chance to get some looks off. They stood strong. Back and forth game like we knew it would be.
No doubt about it. This one has lived up to the hype. Charlotte North, rear back and fire, a flamethrower. And she's got her Eagles up 4-3. Now, this is a women's lacrosse game, of course, but it's also a chess match between two of the best teams in the country, North Carolina and Boston College. You know, the Tar Heels might have more All-Americans, but BC, they've got the Queen of the North in Charlotte North, Tewaaraton winner from a season ago. Interestingly, she was the only first-team All-American preseason this year, despite BC being the reigning national champions.
Quite surprising. I mean, UNC talent, so much on their roster and all well-deserved, but Boston College, I think they embraced that. They had a lot of players on the second team, honorable mention, but they love that. We talked about it earlier. They like that underdog mentality. They like going in there, proving people wrong. I think they use that as fuel.
Well, certainly one quarter into this game, not much to separate these two teams. Start of the second quarter, Charlotte North, Ali Mastriani in the draw control circle. Mastriani wins it to herself. And North Carolina with an opportunity to tie this game with the opening possession of the second quarter. Dana, what did you notice in the first quarter about this Tar Heels offense? 4 turnovers, uncharacteristic from them.
You hit the nail on the head. It's really uncharacteristic. The ball movement wasn't what we're used to seeing. I thought UNC played exceptional in their last few games, especially against Louisville. Jenny Levy felt like the ball movement was flowing and they were back to the Tar Heel offense that she expects. She expects a certain level of perfection from her team, specifically on the offensive side.
See Jamie Ortega set up for an 8-meter. Yeah, I mean, I think those turnovers, Dana, as you mentioned, that's an area that teams want to make sure that they're not unforced errors.
Ortega darts in and scores. Jamie Ortega ties it at 4. And with that goal, she passes Sam Apuzzo in the total points in a ACC career. Now number 2 on the list.
Ortega does an excellent job exploding off the 8-meter, protecting her stick. She's able to finish in tight spaces. And if you notice, she actually really cradles very tightly in front of her face and then extends her stick ever so slightly above her head, which gets rid of all the defensive pressure and sticks and is able to get that off without being checked.
And she's also unfazed by any bumps and bruises. She goes on the ground a lot. She's a tough kid.
There it is, Jamie Ortega, all-time point leaders in the ACC, passes Boston College's Sam Apuzzo, who's now on the Eagles coaching staff. 398, just 2 points away from 400, and now it's Jen Adams' watch as Ortega marches on. What a career she has had in a Tar Heels uniform.
Record-breaking year for her. Amazing. And, you know, similar to Charlotte North on the other side, the best defensive players on Jamie Ortega trying to contain her. She faces double teams. Dana, you talked about how she's constantly being shoved to the turf. People get really physical with her. She doesn't complain. She gets back up.
And she's unselfish. That's the thing that I think is the most important as a teammate. You've got to be unselfish. She has no problem distributing the ball, and same with Charlotte North. They're two very selfless players.
Very animated Charlotte North there after the draw control.
Looks like she was almost trying to shake off a little ankle tweak. She seems to be moving good right now. Great job of UNC transitioning downfield, letting the ball do the work.
It's funny as we talk about Ortega, Charlotte North, Jamie Ortega, 1A, 1B for the best players in the country on the 2 best teams, and yet so different in their style of play.
A lot of pressure here. Ali Mastriani is going to draw that foul. You get placed on the hash mark on the 8 meter closest where the foul occurred, and if the player that fouls goes 4 meters behind, not a great angle, it's called a hanging hash mark. See number 3 in blue, Jamie Ortega on the other side.
Passes out, finds Elizabeth Hillman. Settles with Ortega now. Ortega into attack mode. Wurzberger takes it behind the cage. She's the quarterback of this Tar Heels offense. "20 seconds left on the shot clock, curling around the cage.
Can't get the inside, great defense.
Ortega spinning, and a foul committed by the sophomore Sydney Scales. 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Watch the extension of the arms, and a little bit high also on the neck area.
7 seconds left to shoot. Ortega has to dart in. Not a great angle, though. Backed up by Carolina, but the shot clock expires. Great defense by Boston College.
Take that as a win. Defensively, they love when they hear that loud whistle signaling shot clock expired. Ball's going the other way.
Dana touched on it earlier, but Sydney Scales, as a true freshman a year ago, holds Jamie Ortega to 1 goal, 2 assists in that semifinal. She's got to have a lot of confidence, Dana, coming back into this matchup, knowing she's only gotten a year older and a year better.
She's an absolute stud. You know how I feel about 45. She's a great player, but I know she fouled Jamie Ortega on that, but her footwork is incredible. If you are a young lacrosse player, you watch her feet on the next defensive set. Her eyes are right at the numbers to watch Jamie Ortega so she doesn't shift her, but her footwork is incredible. She's so athletic, and she's definitely gotten stronger.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned stronger, because the physicality on the field right now is evident in this game.
Well, we've got bodies flying everywhere, but it's good, healthy competition. I mean, both coaches are thinking that one is a charge, one is an extension of the arm, so it's a competition, and both teams want to win.
Charlotte North got the hands free. Terrific save by Taylor Moreno to deny.
Beautiful stop there by Moreno, and it came out of the crease a little bit, and Ali Mastriani is able to bat that one back to her.
Now, North's touches have been limited. That's only her 3rd shot attempt in this first half. Take another look.
BC pressuring out defensively, and that pays off with the turnover. So these are things that if you watch UNC all season long, you're not seeing them have these shot clock violations. Wow.
A lot of contact there. Holly Schleicher, who created the caused turnover, took a big hit.
I'm surprised there's no sorts of card there. Let's take a look at this. Schleicher with the ball, and I see extension of the arms. You can't run into a player. It's hard to see where the official was right there to see.
I'm surprised that wasn't a card, too. I'm at field level, and that was rough.
Yeah, I mean, we're all the way up here at Alumni Stadium. It felt rough here.
It looks rough, yeah.
I don't know if I would have gotten back up.
Well, Boston College, so tough. All tied at 4. North Carolina has yet to take a lead in this game. Mossman's been effective. The lefty finds Biles Smith, but she rings it off the pipe. Inches away, the sophomore, off a terrific feed for Mossman.
Beautiful pass inside, and Julia Dorsey with the hustle play to run that out. Let's see, this is a time where I think UNC needs to settle down a little bit, get the right personnel on the field. They've had a couple turnovers.
Six turnovers for North Carolina. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Ortega passes out of the double team. Olivia Dirks, already a goal to her name today. And now Nicole Humphrey. Bell Smith all over her, forces it back out to Dirks midway through the shot clock.
Great double and recovery for the defense.
Pass inside, Wurzberger didn't get the hands free, backed up by Ortega and the Tar Heels. Quick restart by Ortega. The second effort is good. Camped right in front, and North Carolina has their first lead of the day. And it's a hat trick for Andy Aldave.
You can see the BC defense frustrated with that one. Pass inside. Aldave does a great job staying outside the crease. The second chance opportunity, doesn't give up and just catches Hall offside her feet.
First lead today for North Carolina. And Dana, how about Andy Aldave? 3 of the Tar Heels' 5 goals this afternoon.
She's been such an immediate impact coming from the midfield, playing on attack. I got to speak with her last week, and she said, it's so nice switching and being on the attack. I can breathe, I can help my teammates out more, and I have a different appreciation for the ball security, being a midfielder in my previous school. So she's come in and made an immediate impact here, and I know the Tar Heels are very welcomed.
I think the midfielders love it when they have one of their fellow comrades that's down on the offensive end that realize that it matters to have possession, not to always push the tempo.
And that's a good example, too, of why when the ball's on the ground, I know Rachel Hall probably wants that possession back, but if the ball's on the ground in front of the cage, don't assume that the defense is going to get it. And I thought Andy Aldave did a great job of just recognizing and reacting and getting the ball and dunking it in the cage.
Well, North Carolina's grabbed their first lead of the day. They've got the momentum as well. They had won 3 straight draw controls before Boston College wins this one. What can the Eagles do, Sheehan, to get Jen Medjid and Charlotte North more involved with the offense? Feel like we're not calling their names nearly as much.
Yes, and part of the problem is you don't always want the offense to revolve around your star players. You want other players to step up. However, I agree with you completely. You want the ball on their stick. They're the ones that generate the most points. They get the most attention. Jen Medjid, we've seen her try to attack the cage a little bit, but hasn't had many good looks on cage. Give her some more openings, set some picks, play a little 2-man game. She and Charlotte North work really well together. Get the ball moving, working around, but the other players need to open them up.
This is Cassidy Weeks, puts on the brakes, backs out. Midway through the shot clock, Charlotte North sets the screen. Now they feed the Tewaaraton winner. Double team comes in, passes out of it, but a little high. Hasselbeck tried to rein it in. Great hustle by North Carolina to scoop that one away.
Great job. Brooklyn Newman charges downfield. She's going to draw a foul. Oftentimes when you're struggling to have a player get touches, a great way to give them the ball is behind the cage. Gives them a little bit of room. Oftentimes the defense won't follow you back there and allows them to operate and try to go to work trying to get some better looks.
And upon the graduation of Katie Hogue, Sheehan, you mentioned it, they're putting many different people at X. So you see Wurzberger primarily, but you also see Ortega, you see Scotty Rose Growney. It gives them a different look offensively.
It's great to mix up different personnel in there because these teams, the scouting is such a high level. They try to shut people down. When you have multiple people that can fill those roles, it makes you very tough to stop. We're going to see another yellow card.
Check to the face.
Any contact with the head, whether it's intentional or not, should be an automatic yellow card. Watch here.
Yep.
And yeah, that is warranted. So that'll be BC's second yellow card. It is 2 minutes. It will be releasable.
Goes against Courtney Taylor, the terrific transfer from Temple. It's funny, Acacia Walker-Weinstein told us she's the only one in practice who could steal the ball away from Charlotte with a stick check. That time, didn't get the timing right. And North Carolina goes woman up again. They scored on their previous woman up opportunity.
On those yellow cards, the possession clock gets reset back to 90 seconds.
North Carolina's offense so hard to stop when you have full strength, let alone a woman down. Great spin, and the finish even better. North Carolina cashes in on the woman up opportunity, and the Tar Heels lead by 2.
Excellent take by Sam Geiersbach. You don't have to be wide open to take it when you're woman up. Geiersbach with the inside roll. She gets it to the inside, she scores. It's 6-4 UNC.
Well, it's just a terrific day to watch some lacrosse at Chestnut Hill, and there's Boston College football head coach Jeff Hafley, part of the Eagles faithful that have come to support the reigning national champions here at Alumni Stadium. BC, though, they have fallen into a little bit of a drought. Scoreless for almost 11 minutes. It's allowed North Carolina to score 3 straight goals and take the lead in this game.
And that's something that we've seen throughout this whole season with the switch to quarters. You can see UNC on a 3-1 run. They've scored the only 3 goals in the second quarter. We've seen these momentum shifts. When the quarter ends, one team seems to hold an advantage, and UNC has taken control of that. Even though they have had a few turnovers, they've held BC scoreless in the second quarter.
And in the timeout in the first quarter, Phil Barnes, Jenny's longtime assistant, he made a comment that said, mark up in transition to his defense, find your numbers and it'll give you confidence on set defense. And so it's been interesting and fun to watch that play out in the second quarter, and I think that's a difference in why Boston College hasn't been successful in putting the ball in the back of the net.
Scoreless in this second quarter, going back to the end of the first. Scoreless for nearly 11 minutes. This is a high-powered Boston College attack that does not stay quiet for long. Charlotte North scored 4.5 minutes in. She has been quiet since. A big reason why, too, Sheehan, is North Carolina's been so good on the draw.
Another win here, and they can push the numbers.
Scotty Rose Growney pulls it out, now sets up the half-field offense for the Tar Heels. They've also been a lot more effective on the offensive end of the field. Why do you think that is?
Well, one, I think it's helped. They've had 2 woman-up opportunities. They scored on both of them, working the ball around. And just really kind of, I think the BC defense has played really well, but when they have made mistakes and some miscommunication, they've been able to figure out those errors.
Here's Ortega. Spins past Scales. Good recovery. Double team now comes in. Off to Wurzberger. No doubt about it, the Tar Heels have taken control of this game on a 3-0 run. 5 minutes left to the second quarter. Boston College, Holly Schleicher ran into the goalkeeper there, recovers. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Ortega with the timer winding down. 5 seconds left. Great feed. Aldave couldn't finish it. Whistles blow it dead. It'll be Boston College ball.
And we're going to see a yellow card issued on, I believe it's going to Andy Aldave, 31, who was wide open in there. For a dangerous follow-through, I think the official signaling. So watch her take this release. And they are saying, I guess, on the follow-through, if that's dangerous, if it makes contact with your defender, that should be yellow card. Hard to see from that angle if it actually did make contact or was dangerous, but either way, BC's a woman up.
First woman up opportunity of the afternoon for Boston College. That was a much-needed defensive stop that they got.
Aldave's been wide open in the inside. She seems to be the one that they leave open, Boston College does, when they go to double, and she's put herself in scenarios to try to get those passes.
And she scored 3 of the Tar Heels' 6 goals this afternoon, the transfer from Notre Dame, Andy Aldave. And now Boston College looking for their first goal in more than 13 minutes. Only 2 shots this entire second quarter.
And
Here's Charlotte North.
Only one of those on goal, so really have had a hard time getting those good looks. We'll see a foul whistled. And that'll set up an 8-meter for a dangerous check towards the head.
And it's Kayla Martello, the sophomore, who steps up. She's already got a goal to her name today. Martello one-on-one with Taylor Moreno. Preseason first-team All-American in goal for the Tar Heels. Martello pulls it out. When you have that woman-up opportunity, sometimes even if you have a good angle, you won't go to cage, right?
If you don't feel like you've got a great shot, it's best to hold off. You need to be fully confident that you can go to goal and score, or else it's just essentially a turnover.
Great feed inside, not gonna find a better look than that one, and Medjid missed it.
Like to see they were feeding it into there. One of the things you said, how do they get Medjid more involved? You got to get her to the ball. So work to get her open, work to feed more to her, and they're able to get the rebound.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. Woman up opportunity for Boston College. Here's Charlotte North. Steps in, fires into the side netting. And Boston College may have wasted their woman up opportunity here.
2 good looks on cage, not able to get that in. Big win for the UNC defense.
Seems like the Tar Heels have been a lot more patient in the second quarter as well.
I also think it's easier to be patient when your defense is getting good stops and you do have the ball more on your offensive end. It gives you a second as an attack to just breathe, take a step back. Look at how wide they're spread out. They're waiting for some of their run-on middies to come back in. Andy Aldave's back. It gives you a little more confidence when you know your defense is holding strong.
Back to even strength. North Carolina in this second quarter on a 3-0 run to grab the lead and the momentum in this game. Ortega runs through the double team. Burst of speed, great save, Rachel Hall. And Andy Aldave keeps the possession alive for the Tar Heels. She's been terrific today.
She has slipping into space, getting those feeds, excellent ground ball. Scotty Rose Brownie with a beautiful shot and even better save from Rachel Hall.
You know, it's one thing to make the save, and that's important. You stop a goal, but you want to finish the possession, right? Scoop up that ground ball, give your offense a chance with under 2 minutes left in this half to do something on the other end. Shot clock at 40. Here's Olivia Dirks.
Great collapsing.
Mastriani gets her hands free, got a good look, but fired it over. Shot clock down to 20. What a spin. Geiersbach again. Sam Geiersbach. Her second goal of the afternoon, and the Tar Heels lead is 3.
That almost looked like a repeat performance of her last goal. Geiersbach with the inside roll. She takes her defender one way. She feels them go a little bit high top side and curls to the inside, seals the defender off, gets herself a better angle. That's just textbook. Beautiful display there by Geiersbach and her skills. The Richmond transfer with her 15th goal this season.
I mean, if you're a young player, you practice that in the backyard every day. That spin, get the hands free, put it away, and there you see it.
Love those spin moves. Love those spin moves. Got to run. You can do it on a line. What you really want to do is eliminate a lot of wasted steps there. So make sure that you seal that defender off, get yourself an angle, protect your stick, and you got to feel where the defender is to make sure whether you go topside or underneath. UNC's won 4 of the last 5 draws.
Now they have taken command of this game, outscoring Boston College 4-0 in this second quarter, and they've got the ball back again. More than a minute to work before halftime comes here at Chestnut Hill. Marino, great pass right on the money.
Let's see how they manage this end of the quarter.
Well, the shot clock is off, so North Carolina can hold for the last shot of the half. Geiersbach has the hot hand right now. Crossfield pass. Beautiful ball movement. This is Wurzberger. Looking for Ortega and a foul called. Will send Jamie Ortega for a free position opportunity.
Ortega is really good on the 8-meter. This sets her up for a center hash mark. Good look here, what she's seeing.
One-on-one straight away with Rachel Hall. Ortega passes off Geiersbach. That's a hat trick for Sam Geiersbach. No, they wave it off in the crease. The officials blow this play dead.
And they are talking to officials conferring. One official had that crease violation. Could be talking about whether she was pushed potentially.
If the goal were to count, it would be a hat trick in under 6 minutes for Sam Geiersbach. Take another look.
You see the foot go inside the crease, and hard to see what the defender is pushing her inside and fouling. Officials getting back to play. And we'll see who they give possession of the ball to.
So it's a flag on the play, but she shot after the flag and she stepped in the crease, so that's why they're calling it back.
What did you see, Dana, though?
Oh, you're asking me the million-dollar question.
Oh, you were right there.
I was right there. I think the officials, they made the right call. Jenny Levy's not happy about it, but I think they made the right call.
So Geiersbach with that push gets set up for an 8-meter.
And again, going for a hat trick in under 6 minutes here.
What a save.
Denied. Rachel Hall goes low, and BC's going to go quickly the other way. 10 seconds to score at the end of this half. Looking for the first goal in this second quarter. 5 seconds. Charlotte North with it. She can't believe they just
I think it was
blew it dead.
offsides call, which will give a fresh 90 seconds.
But that doesn't matter. There's
Doesn't
only
help.
4 seconds left in the half. I think in that case you have to let play go on. Because now North Carolina can get settled.
They can get organized, and sometimes that's by design to put somebody off sides. It looks like they added another second to the clock, gives them 5 seconds. I think the key here is just attack the cage hard, try to get fouled. Yes, and she should
There
have.
is the foul. With under a second left, that's an easy foul call.
That's an easy foul call. Now, the deal is with the rule here, the shot needs to be, can be released. It needs to, as long as it's released before the clock hits 0, if it goes in, that counts.
Jen Medjid, rear back and fire under a second left in the half. One-on-one with Marino. BC looking for their first goal in this second quarter, and Marino snuffs it out. North Carolina dominant in that second quarter, 4-0 to take a 7-4 halftime lead.
2 big-time saves for each goalkeeper to end this second quarter. The UNC defense held BC scoreless for the final 16 minutes and 37 seconds of this half. Great accomplishment.
This is a high-powered Boston College attack that North Carolina has held in check halfway through this game. The heroes on the offensive end, Andy Aldave, 3 goals, Sam Geiersbach with 2. And North Carolina has nosed in front here in Chestnut Hill. Terrific day for women's lacrosse, terrific crowd here at Alumni Stadium. And a 7-4 lead for North Carolina, trying to get revenge over that semifinal loss a year ago. We've got a fun finish coming to the ACC on ESPNU. 2 to go, halftime here at Chestnut Hill, and it's time for Sound On. And this week, Tari and Amari have 2 special guests. Enjoy.
Hello there, and welcome back to Sound On with Tari and Amari. Today, Amari and I are celebrating the heroes, those of you that have been on the front lines during the COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring our safety and well-being. We're joined by 2 really special guests, starting off with Taylor Perks. Taylor is a 4th-year student at the USC School of Dentistry, an alum of Howard University, and a USA Lacrosse Sankofa clinician. We're also joined by Sierra Ray, an alum of Hiram College, and now a coach at Stowe High School. Sierra also conducts pharmaceutical research and has been testing vaccines during the pandemic. So Taylor, one of the things that really stands out to me that you do is you volunteer on Skid Row, helping the homeless population there take care of their dental needs, particularly during this pandemic. What's it been like still being active in your community and giving back, but with these new kind of safety regulations?
My experience on Skid Row and volunteering in the homeless community has been very different, quite challenging. We try to address all of their needs, from doing cleanings, extractions, root canals, crowns, fillings. We really do comprehensive dental care for these patients, and they are very, very thankful. So,
Sierra, your work looks a little different from the dental field, and I'm curious, what would you say is the most interesting part about pharmaceutical research?
Probably how quickly the turnaround can be. So from the start of us testing a drug to getting to clinical trials to getting FDA approved is a lot quicker than some people might think, especially if we're dealing with COVID vaccines where it has to be a quicker turnaround. I don't think I realized before joining this field how much goes into that and how much goes into getting them out quickly.
This question is for both of you. I'm curious, what are some of the ways, both expected and unexpected, that playing lacrosse has helped prepare you for the high intense situations you find yourselves in the medical field?
I think that just from my experiences playing on a team sport, having to step up when someone else might be tired, playing different positions that I would normally play, doing different procedures than I would typically want to do, has definitely helped make rendering like dental treatment and dental care much more smooth, better for the patients, better patient experience, better for our team.
I actually got promoted about a year ago into a higher leadership role, which is about a year into the pandemic. So I think that not only playing lacrosse, but I also coach lacrosse. I think that really helped me. I was able to kind of adapt to other people's learning styles or the way other people need to process things.
Well, thank you both so much for sharing more about the work that you do and your journeys and how lacrosse has influenced how you perform, especially during this strenuous time. Thank you all for tuning in to Sound On. Keep your sound on. We'll see you next time.
And a huge thank you to Sierra and Taylor and all the incredible healthcare heroes out there. We'll be back with second half action between Boston College and North Carolina after this. Chestnut Hill, the home of the reigning national champions in women's lacrosse, but it's North Carolina with a 7-4 halftime lead. We'll bring you the second half after this. Back to Old Spice College Lacrosse. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. The 2 best teams in the ACC, the 2 best teams in the country. What a treat this is. 2 undefeated powers. Boston College, the reigning national champs, down 7-4 as we start this second half. She and Stanwick Birch. Jay Alter with you. Dana Boyle down on the sidelines. What stood out to you most about that first half?
Well, I really just think that BC kind of disappeared offensively in that second quarter. They were outshot 11-5 and outdrawed 4-1. So they just need to get more possession.
Charlotte North scored 4.5 minutes into this game, but she's been quiet, and really the story is physicality.
A lot of physicality. Some of these have been carded, some have not. Charlotte North with a beautiful rip there. And then Andy Aldave for UNC gets a second chance opportunity. The UNC offense with Sam Geiersbach with the inside roll on display. Double duty there for her back-to-back goals.
The Tar Heels scored 4 in a row in the second quarter to grab a 3-goal advantage at the half. Boston College shut out in that second quarter. Dana, you were just speaking with BC head coach Acacia Walker-Weinstein.
The word that she used was gumption for the attack. We've got to get creative. We have to have isolation, two-man game, and we've got to have the defense's back. She specifically called out the defense and said, the defense is playing great. Rachel Hall is playing great. The girls in front of her are stepping up, and the offense has got to relieve some of that pressure. So in this second half, the offense has really got to work together to put more of a complete package together.
Hold on, I got to get my dictionary out. Gumption.
I did look that up on Google.
What did you get?
Gumption, shooter, spirited initiative, and resourcefulness.
Use it in a sentence?
No.
Language of origin?
Didn't do well on my SAT enough for that. Come on now.
Back underway in this second half. Boston College wins the draw. That's something they really struggled with during that Tar Heels run. North Carolina won 4 out of 5.
And these are those moments as these teams playing the best of the best, 1v2, you want to be challenged. So this is an opportunity for BC to try to battle back. And same with UNC. They've got the lead. How do they maintain it? How do they keep on the pressure?
Great look for the freshman McKenna Davis. Just too much on it. BC starved for possession in that second quarter. Scoreless now for 17 minutes. What can they do to break out of the shell offensively?
Well, I thought they had a good look right there with Jen Medja. We've been talking about her, second leading goal scorer for Boston College. Gave her a lane to goal. I'd like to see her go to cage more, get fouled. You see Charlotte North, she's excellent. And she can split those double teams. So more challenging, great passing right now.
Shot clock down to 30. Bouncer saved by Marino. She's really locked in, made a big save at the end of the first half, and she picks up right where she left off.
Good save for Marino, and not the best angle for Medjid right there. So even though she was alone, she's got to work harder to get a step to the inside, to get a better look on cage. That bouncer to this right into the stick of Marino.
And you got to credit Emily Knowles, who's guarding Jen Medjid. She was able to get positioning to make that not such a great angle shot for Jen Medjid, so Kayla Marino could see and track the ball.
The one-on-one defense for both the teams, I think, has been very solid with the footwork, forcing those offensive players to the outside. There's somebody wide open.
Plenty of space for Hillman. Bouncer! Elizabeth Hillman. And North Carolina doubling up BC 8-4.
Beautiful job for Elizabeth Hillman. She's wide open, and BC was just too late to try to slow her down. She had a head of steam. She's battled injuries throughout her career. #1 recruit in 2019. An excellent job taking that catch on the run, getting to Gage hard, and gets her 6th goal this season.
But it's worth remembering, it all started with a save on the other end, and those 1-for-1, you get the stop and then cash in on the other end are so crucial in a game where there's not much to separate between two really talented, star-driven teams.
BC's defense has had a harder time when UNC starts moving the ball around on the pass and adjusting to how to adjust defensively with their slide packages. When they've been settled, they've done a very nice job trying to keep people to the outside, playing good one-on-one defense, but UNC's been exploiting them by moving the ball around.
North Carolina on a 5-0 run. Boston College needs a goal. 18 minutes scoreless now. Who's going to step up in gold and maroon to make a play? The freshman McKenna Davis. Over to Charlotte North. Scored 4.5 minutes into this game. Since has been held without a goal. This will be a free position for Boston College.
An off-ball foul here. Calling the defense for a defensive hold. Cassidy Weeks will be put on the 8-meter.
Jenny Levy, North Carolina head coach, not happy about it. Here's Weeks. Brings it off the pipe. That's the 3rd pipe that Boston College has hit in this game. And it's a game of inches if those 3 go the other way. And North Carolina's got the ball too.
We'll take another look at this shot from Weeks. Matter of inches in this game, and UNC is able to run out the shot. BC just 1 for 4 on their free positions. We see a lot of fouls in this game. It's so important to be able to convert on them. Most coaches want to be converting at about a 50% or better level.
Dirks with room, and she makes Boston College pay. Olivia Dirks, the transfer from Penn State. And this Tar Heels team on a 6-0 run right now.
UNC scoring the only 4 goals in that second quarter, and now they picked up 2 in the second. Look at that split dodge move from Dirks, and right as she sees the pressure coming from the defensive slide, she switches back to her right hand, gets that shot off. Love her celebrations.
Timeout, Boston College. North Carolina flexing their muscles right now. Up 9-4 at the start of the third. End of the first quarter, Boston College led this game 4-3. Since then, she in 6-0 run for Jenny Levy's team.
They just have had all the momentum. Just excellent goal scorers. Jamie Ortega here with the 8-meter finish, and Geiersbach, the inside roll, just attacking in different ways. Just 2 assisted goals, but really a nice movement of the ball offensively, drawing the fouls. Olivia Dirks gets this beautiful score, just takes it one-on-one, really finding the holes in the defense.
And if you're Boston College, plenty of time. 11 minutes, 44 seconds left in this third quarter. You've started winning more draw controls. They've won the last 2, but got to end this scoring drought. We're nearing 20 minutes for BC without a goal.
BC's gotten off 18 shots. They've been converting on 53% of their shots on the season, but well below that today.
I love that. Charlotte North switches the stick so quickly from the draw control stick to the scoring stick. She's only got 1 goal to her name today. She averages 5 goals a game. Last year she did it all. Tewaaraton winner, national champion, scores a record 102 goals and decides to run it back. She's averaging 5 goals a game, 41 goals in 8 games. So she's actually on pace to break her own record.
Medjid, nice take, great double team.
Kayla Martello, nothing doing. Great defense by North Carolina.
And you can see this defense getting pumped up. The sideline loves it. These one-on-one matchups.
Mossman, the lefty, ducks inside, bouncer, and scores. Exactly what Boston College needed. The Eagles pull one back.
The fans love it. Great crowd on hand today. Mossman with her 16th goal this season. Doesn't need much space to get the job done. Finally breaks the scoring drought for BC. Cuts to the inside, and then you can see Taylor Marino just gets up a little bit high on the arc. She takes a step forward, and the beautiful bounce shot there. Moreno hugging the pipe right there, but as a left-hander, that's why it's important, even though she is a lefty, make sure that as an offensive player, you can use your right and left hand. Just increases your angle so much, being able to shoot both ways.
21 minutes and 5 seconds in between Boston College goals. Typically, if you do that against North Carolina, you're down double digits. Eagles only trailing by 4 and plenty of time left in this game. And when you got Charlotte North of the draw control circle, you can start winning possession back over and over again to claw back in this game. And she's getting the better of Mastriani right now. Mastriani whistled for a foul again.
Good switch to the sticks. If you're new to the game, Jay, you mentioned the switching of the draw sticks. A lot of times the players that take the draw use a special stick. Strung a little bit differently. The pockets is strung a little bit differently, and just the it's harder to operate as a field stick. So oftentimes players don't want to use that to shoot with. So Charlotte North opts to switch. Some people use the same stick.
That's a new tactic. When I played, you played with one stick. If you took the draw, you kept your stick. So it's interesting to see the different types of versatility that you can have in the sticks and the mesh.
Very specialized, a lot of gear.
Yeah, Boston College has won all 4 draws of this third quarter. Now can they turn it into goals? Here's North. Puts on the brakes and scores. There was a whistle first, but count the goal. Charlotte North. And it's back-to-back goals for BC in quick succession.
Once again, change of the quarter, a little bit change of momentum. Boston College getting in more of a rhythm, wins that draw control, and then North is able to get her second goal of the day. She skates when she moves. She's got such fancy footwork, gets herself in a position, back and forth. Such great placement. Watch her try to just get her hands free. She feels the pressure. She knows when to step back. She generates so much power. And you can see her try to rally up her teammates with let's go, and she gets right back to the draw circle.
Dana, you're down on the sidelines. I feel like her emotion right now is palpable.
You can feel it. I mean, she is an incredible player, but what she does to her team and the momentum that she can bring her team, she was celebrating that goal, but you should have seen all of the other players around her run to her, celebrate her. I mean, everyone's pumped up, especially those players on the circle. Watch how aggressive this circle play is.
2 goals in the last 53 seconds for Boston College. It's got the home crowd into it. A beautiful day in Chestnut Hill. The sun's out. A terrific turnout here at Alumni Stadium.
UNC opting to put Olivia Dirks on to take the draw, and they're able to get that with their circle players. Elizabeth Hillman coming up with that win.
Patient approach for a Tar Heels team leading by 3. Great move, curling around the cage. Scotty Rose Growney notches her first goal of the afternoon, an immediate answer for this Tar Heels attack.
We talk a lot about winning the draw controls, but so much of that only matters if you're able to convert on your offensive end, and UNC gets possession. Watch Scotty Rose Growney here. Belle Smith is on her. She opts to go around topside, tries to meet her, and Growney just exploits that. I would like to see Belle Smith just travel over the goal cage there, mark up. Great recognition of Scotty Rose Growney, understanding where she is in the field and release that shot.
And Sydney Scales was on that side of the field, but you're not going to slide off Ortega. You're asking for trouble there.
You got to pick your poison with the UNC offense.
They'll make you pay.
And you almost have to slide there. I mean, she's got the ball. The ball is the most dangerous there. Slide and try to force a pass right there, but just a very aware play for Scotty Rose Growney and makes BC pay.
A lot of contact, so much physicality. Finally, a whistle comes in. You know, Olivia Dirks has come in and disrupted Charlotte North's rhythm at the circle. BC still wins possession, but every single draw control is a battle. Can the Eagles continue to string together goals? Still a lot of time left in this game, nearing midway through the third quarter. Boston College 2 goals in 53 seconds after being scoreless for more than 20 minutes in this game as the offense come back to life. Here's Belle Smith. Super sophomore, darts in and buries it. That's what makes Belle Smith one of the best in the country. And BC back within 3.
What a great take for Smith. Just relentless. 17th goal this season for the sophomore. Starts with a pick up top Charlotte North, and they try to get the defense off center, but instead Smith just attacks the cage hard. She was not going to be denied. Excellent placement.
And that was the adjustment that Coach Acacia Walker-Weinstein wanted to see out of the halftime. She said, we need to get more creative offensively. We need to see that two-man game. And you mentioned it, that was a pick at the top of the 12-meter. That creates problems for your defense. It's hard to slide. You have to pick who you're going to go to. And for Belle Smith to take it down the alley is a great shot. Much needed momentum for Boston College.
You know, you're talking about this pick game. It's so key because it just makes the defense have to think. And if you get them just to stutter step 1 split second, it gets your hands free.
And for Smith, the stellar freshman year sets the Boston College freshman point record, has come back. There's no sophomore slump for number 5 in maroon and gold. A terrific season. And now Boston College with the momentum. Charlotte North wins another draw. They find Belle Smith again. She's got the hot hand right now. Sticking with Smith for a second, she in a world of specialization where more and more high school players only playing one sport. Smith was a 3-sport athlete: volleyball, basketball, lacrosse, and really good at all 3.
Amazing. Set the records at West Hampton Beach High School. Fantastic volleyball player. Played libero. Actually could have probably played volleyball in college. She wanted to focus on lacrosse. Look at that score, and finally Medjid connects.
Her first goal of the afternoon, and it comes at a perfect time for Boston College. You can start to feel it at Alumni Stadium. The momentum starting to shift.
The energy swings, and it starts with just stringing together a couple plays. Watch Medjid up top, great roll dodge, and she doesn't hold the ball on her stick too long. She makes that move, she plants her foot, gets to her right side, steps, plants, and fires. We've seen Moreno get beat quite a few times on that side. Stick side with the bouncer. She's hugging the pipe, leaving that stick side free. And that's when the BC shooters have been shooting. Starts with that great draw control win for Charlotte North.
Boston College scored their first 4 goals in 34.5 minutes. Scoreless for more than 20 minutes during that stretch. Now, 4 goals, boom, in 3 minutes.
And you look at BC, was outdrawn in that first half. They've since retaken the edge here.
And it's Charlotte North. The highlight reels on YouTube. All the young players out there watching her tape, and for good reason. She's the best in the game right now, but it's not just the scoring. She can beat you at the draw. She can beat you everywhere on the field. And Olivia Dirks has come in and disrupted her a little bit. North Carolina wins the possession, trying to protect this 2-goal advantage.
Great win there for Olivia Dirks. You see how both of them, both North and Dirks, keep that elbow really tight into their body, trying to really make sure that they get that ball up in the air, away, and try to position it to a location where they can grab it.
This is Nicole Humphrey, guarded tightly by Belle Smith. Resets. Mastriani has a step. Great recovery. Mastriani relentless, though. Here's Geiersbach, the spin again. Couldn't get the finish. Aldave's there. Scoop and score. Andy Aldave's 4th goal of the afternoon. Hold on, they wave it off. No goal for Aldave. Jenny Levy is livid over on the Tar Heel sideline.
Wow, I thought she got fouled. I thought it was going to be it is a goal. There's a lot of confusion on the field there. There was a push after the goal scored, I believe. And I think if that is the case, Aldave will get the ball back at the center circle. Watch this. Geiersbach inside roll. And Aldave again with the scoop and finish.
That's just instinct right there.
She is just all over it. And that's what you want as an offensive player. Being aware, not just ball watching, ready for those ground balls, ready for those pickups. We've seen Aldave score on 2 of those. And it's going back to the center circle because of that foul on Aldave after the shot. UNC gets awarded possession at the center circle. There's no draw.
So for the Boston College sidelines that had erupted momentarily, when it looked like it was no goal, now count the goal, and North Carolina right back on to possession. 8 goals in this third quarter as this game is heated up. Just feels like this is a postseason game, not a game in March.
BC's been the only team to beat UNC in their 2 losses since April of 2019. See the extension of the arm. Doesn't look like that's going to be a card. So you see the extension of the arms in the ribcage area. That easily could be a yellow card for the cross check. Yeah.
If that's probably higher up the body, that is a yellow card.
Yeah.
Came on the hip. No, I know it could be called a yellow card, absolutely, but
still hated in that rib area. A lot of times you see the injuries into that rib cage area from those cross checks. They're going to back up, so not going to be an 8-meter free position. Since that foul occurred outside the 8-meter.
it's been a difficult day for the officials. A lot of physicality. Mastriani got the hands free, missed it wide. The backup for Boston College, Belle Smith.
That's huge. As a defensive player, if you can run out the ball on an errant shot, it is a great way, obviously, to get possession back, but really fires up the whole team. And as the offense needs to have the backup there. You want to make sure you've got somebody close to the end line to run out those errant shots, but BC gets a much-needed possession.
Where has Boston College been most effective today offensively, Sheehan?
Well, they've had a hard time finding their rhythm, but they were able to string together these 4 goals in this third quarter. With Mossman, we saw Belle Smith attack from up top. I think it's when they attack from up top and really just go to cage hard.
North attacking from up top now, trying to switch it. Foul called.
I also think, too, Sheehan, it's when they attack up top, but when the ball goes somewhere else before it goes back up top to be attacked, they've got to have that ball movement.
Moving the ball, trying to get the defense to rotate and shift is going to be key here. And that check, which went across the body, puts North on the 8-meter.
So much speed, and it rings off Moreno. Just great positioning for the preseason first-team All-American. That stings when you take it at that speed from the stick of Charlotte North.
Let's watch this. So much strength, and right off the helmet.
Oh. Toughest people on the planet.
We got a thumbs up from Taylor Moreno, so she's okay, and she's halfway up the field.
I was going to say she better be okay. She's got the ball.
She gave the official the thumbs up. She's tough.
You have to be a goalie.
I mean, she's got bruises. I can see them on her legs as she's running back to her cage. Everywhere.
That time it was the helmet that got in front of a Charlotte North flamethrower. Hey, she's got the fastest shot in the sport by 10 miles an hour.
I have never tracked it, but
it looks like that.
It looks like that. I'm glad I don't ever have to play goalie against her. She is so strong, so powerful, and so accurate.
Great feed in front. Nicole Humphrey the finish. And North Carolina back in front by 4.
UNC bench loving that. Beautiful assisting play. Humphrey gets her 3rd goal this season. Seems every time Boston College has a little bit of momentum, UNC takes it right back. Dirks gets that pass the inside. She's been dangerous coming down. And a beautiful catch on the run. She makes it look so easy, just catching under pressure and gets that nice quick shot off.
7th different goal scorer for North Carolina. You spoke about the depth earlier, Sheehan. It's on full display here in Chestnut Hill.
So many different people that can score, and UNC's always been known for their depth. They've got so much talent, get some of the best recruiting classes, but really sharing the scoring load here. Again, look at the elbow placement of these draw takers. So their hand is choked up high, right on that stick head, and they're gonna look to kind of dig in a digging motion, scooping that ball up so it goes above their heads. And the scramble here for the 50-50 ball. Excellent pickup.
Emily Knowles, the junior, just picked it out. And North Carolina can try and build this 4-goal lead. Momentum switching back to the Tar Heels side after Boston College scored 4 goals in 3 minutes.
Emily Knowles does so much for this UNC team. Lockdown defender, her presence on the draws, ground balls. We've seen her in transition. She can score.
Great save, Rachel Hall. This time, Geiersbach decides not to spin, commits the foul there.
And that's got to be a yellow card. We've seen a couple of these displays, and this is going to be whistled. Good call by the official there. So in transition, you cannot stop a player's momentum like that, the extension of the arms. This will be UNC's second yellow card. So Boston College will be woman up for up to 2 minutes. It's releasable, and number 36 for Boston College, Sam Geiersbach, will be sidelined for up to 2 minutes.
3 minutes left to this third quarter. Crucial woman up opportunity for Boston College. Here's Mossman, the lefty's been effective both in the passing and scoring game today. Now over to Medjid. Back to Mossman curling around. And out to Charlotte North. Feed inside Medjid, great look, couldn't get the finish. Usually that's money for Medjid, who scored 29 goals to her name this season.
She's been shooting about 64% on the season this year.
Weeks low, and it's met by Marino.
Another stop for UNC on a woman up opportunity.
Ortega there, the backup, the long pass.
I've seen teams that opt to attack when they are a player down. Looks like UNC is going to opt just to hold the ball, and I think with a 4-goal lead, that's a smart decision. They'll wait to get back to full strength to attack.
There's about 20 seconds separating this third quarter clock and the shot clock. North Carolina's now killed 2 woman up opportunities for Boston College in this game. Back to full strength. About 35 seconds left on the shot clock. Ortega one-on-one with Sydney Scales. Double team comes over. 20 seconds to shoot. Here's Elizabeth Hillman into attack mode. What a play! Hillman stepped on the brakes, took it and put it into the upper corner. What an individual effort at the end of this third quarter.
This UNC team clicking on both ends. They're able to stop BC when they're woman up, and then Hillman just takes, head is up, looking for the feed. Almost when she backs out, lulls her defender to sleep, thinking that she's gonna reset. Instead, she face dodges, gets a step to the inside, and as she's diving down low, flicks it high to the top corner. Great score to almost end this third quarter.
Boston College had brought it within 2. It was 10-8. And Jenny Levy's team has punched back at the end of this third quarter. 3 goals in a row.
7 different goal scorers today for North Carolina. So they get a warning. Just I think somebody was trying to substitute on for UNC. They'll reset the draw. They'll put that ball in the upper third portion of the sticks and make sure that the shafts of the poles are parallel to that midline.
North had it, stripped away, lost the stick. 25 seconds left for this Boston College offense to operate at the end of this third quarter. As it stands, outscored 6-4 after being held scoreless in the second quarter. Here's North attacking from behind the cage. Met by Trenchard, bulldozes her over, takes it in, and scores! Charlotte North!
You can also see why she was such a great basketball player. Her footwork and the understanding of where the defense is, how to move is unbelievable, and gets herself in a position to beat her defenders. Great defense by Trenchard. Trenchard just seems to be off balance. Don't think that that was a charge there. And North's able to get to the inside. Great awareness. Moreno completely off, gets off balance, and North gets the score.
Emma Trenchard, 3-time All-American Team USA defender. One of the best defenders in the entire country, and North just went right into her, took it right to her, and scored a goal with 7 seconds left in this third quarter. Felt like BC really needed that.
They really do. In 7 seconds, I've seen goals scored with 6 seconds from the draw, and that's going to go BC's way, so they just need to get it down quickly.
2 seconds left, they heave it to no avail. Charlotte North notches her hat trick, but her team trailing by 4 as we enter the fourth quarter between the 2 top teams in the country.
Old Spice College Lacrosse is brought to you by Old Spice. Smell ready for anything.
Back to Old Spice College Lacrosse. It's the ACC on ESPN. She and Stanford Birch, Dana Boyle, Jay Alter with you. 2 teams that came in unbeaten. We march on to the fourth and final quarter. And North Carolina, ever since that second quarter, that 4-0 spur, they have looked in control of the matchup.
They had that second quarter was really important for them to kind of take control of this game. Andy Aldave with 4 goals. Jamie Ortega breaking another record. 398th career point, now moved into second all ACC all time. And Charlotte North, she's chipped in a couple in that third quarter. They're going to need her to do some more and get more of the offense involved.
And you mentioned it, this UNC offense is giving Boston College a little bit of trouble on the defensive end. I just got to sit in on the huddle with defensive coordinator Jen Ken. I love listening to her break down the X's and O's of the game, but she said where they're getting us is on the backside. She's like, I want you to communicate, I want you to be aggressive, but you have to stay composed and release just 10 seconds earlier on that backside. So the backside is really where UNC is finding the weakness in the Boston College defense.
Great insight there.
It was a North Carolina team that only scored 10 goals against Boston College in the semifinal. Their last loss that ended their undefeated 20-0 perfect season. They've come in with a chip on their shoulder, the Chestnut Hill. A point to prove as we start this fourth quarter. Tar Heels on possession and a 4-goal lead. Scotty Rose Growney, the spin. Everybody on the field can make you pay for the Tar Heels. So deep, so effective. Midway through the shot clock. Ortega in attack mode. What a feed and a beautiful goal. Caitlin Wurzberger curling around the cage. Ortega put it right on the money. What a start to this fourth quarter for North Carolina.
Perfectly timed. UNC just making the defense spin. Excellent passing. See the off-ball players moving. And Wurzberger, beautiful job cutting right around the crease. When Ortega's going to goal, the defense has to stop and try to react. She's so unselfish, though. If she feels a double team coming, she's going to hit who's open. Wurzberger gets her defender on her back and is able to cash that in.
Wurzberger, the sophomore, who steps into such huge shoes to fill with Katie Hogue's departure. And I think Jenny Levy said it best. They didn't need her to be Katie Hogue. They just needed her to be Caitlin Wurzberger.
And she's been amazing. #1 recruit last year, and she makes it with her goal, the 8th goal scorer for UNC. So really spreading the wealth. Yeah, you're not going to replace Katie Hogue. Just play your own game. And she said it was maybe going to be by committee. And we've seen some different people operate from behind the cage.
Wurzberger again. Mastriani. And it's now a 6-goal lead for North Carolina. What an individual effort.
North Carolina's opened up this fourth quarter. Beautiful shot by Mastriani. Right-handed shot, pings it to the far corner. And they're able to stretch this lead.
Jenny Levy loves it. And Rachel Hall, we mentioned in that semifinal win for Boston College, she had a season-high 11 saves, only 5 today. They're going to need her to start standing on her head in this fourth quarter because a 6-goal lead. Still plenty of time with 13:30, but largest lead of the game. BC back against the wall right now, Shan.
They've got to string together some possessions. I mean, we've talked about this 1 versus 2 matchup, rematch of the semifinals. These teams may see each other up to 3 times if they meet in the ACC championships and if they meet in the NCAAs. But this is the time when they figure out where do they need to work on. We're still in March. How does BC adjust when they're down? What can they do to build back the lead? How does UNC try to maintain this lead and their composure? This BC's got to take this 1 possession at a time. Plenty of time left with 13 minutes. But it's going to take a team effort from the defensive stops and then offensively really trying to connect on their shots. Moreno's been very strong in cage.
North scored her last goal from attacking from behind the cage. Working on Trenchard again.
Smart move for her not to take that shot. She'll often take no-angle shots, and they oftentimes go in. But they need to be taking high percentage shots right now.
Good look there, cashed in by Jen Medjid. Exactly what Boston College needed, an immediate answer after the Mastriani goal.
Medjid gets on board for her 2nd goal of the day. Love her patience here, attacking from up top, trying to go back and forth with the roll dodge, and then she gets her defender who just slips a little bit. Again, understands, sees that she's got the opportunity, takes it 1 more step in, increases her angle, and gets a score. Medjid and North have 4 of the last 5 BC goals. We knew these were going to be the stars to focus on.
So it's the combination now for Boston College as they try and claw back from a 6-goal deficit, now 5. Yes, you got to get the goals, but you got to either win the draw or get a stop on the other end. North Carolina has made it look easy on the offensive end. 15 goals.
UNC with the 15 goals, 9 different goal scorers. You can see how this is a complete team effort here, trying to get the ball.
Scooped up by Melody Welsh. Hands it back to Rachel Hall. And now the clearing game will start for Boston College. Hunter Roman takes it into the attacking third for the Eagles. Boston College playing fearlessly right now. Kayla Martello with a head of steam, rings it off the pipe and in. Back-to-back goals for the Eagles in under a minute.
Excellent possession for Boston College. Martello, 16 goal this season. The sophomore, Coach Acacia Walker-Weinstein, says she gets hard on her because she knows she's got so much potential, such a great player. Takes this on the run, gets forced to the outside, but maintains composure and slips that one in.
Timeout, North Carolina. Boston College with 2 goals in 58 seconds. Just like that, the reigning national champs back within 4. 12 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. 4 goals to her name today, and she was ready for anything. Brought to you by Old Spice. This was the 4th goal. This is all instinct, Sheehan.
Aldave has been everywhere. 4 goals on 5 shots. Into the inside, slips into space. And excellent, she just found herself right on the doorstop. It seems like every time the BC defense left her open, she was completely ready.
This is my favorite right here.
Beautiful. I mean, that sums it up. Ready for anything. Ball gets dropped in front of her. She gets a second chance opportunity.
That's the stuff you can't practice, right?
No. I mean, you just have to be, her awareness. I mean, she's an excellent lacrosse player. Opted to take her 5th year at UNC. He's been such a great addition.
North Carolina led by 6 at the start of this fourth quarter. Boston College back-to-back goals. The home team, the reigning national champions, they've had the Tar Heels number in the postseason, knocked them out of the last 2 Final Fours. And North Carolina with a head of steam. Mastriani, space, and a goal. Ali Mastriani proving why she's on Team USA and the ACC Midfielder of the Year a year ago. What a performance this is.
Love this. Great draw control win. Mastriani, she notices, recognizes she's alone coming down, head of steam, and I love her just choosing to push the pace right here. Some players would opt to set the ball up right there. She realized that she had a chance to go to goal. Great look on Cage, and she gets her 20th goal.
$16 goals now for North Carolina. They only scored 10 in that semifinal we were just talking about. And Dana, you're down on the field. I can't help but think that Rachel Hall just wasn't at the level she was in that semifinal when she stood on her head and made 11 saves.
I would agree. I think that was the game of her life, but to back her up a little bit defensively on that last transition, Carolina had numbers, so for Ali Mastriani to attack, that was a smart play, but her defense isn't necessarily playing well in front of her in this fourth quarter. They played really well and held UNC pretty decently in the first 3 quarters, but they've got to match up in transition, especially if you have someone as good as Ali Mastriani with the speed streaking down the middle of the field.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, usually when a team gets up by 4, 5, 6 goals, you'll see them be really patient. Let's pull it out, kill the clock. Not Jenny Levy in North Carolina. They are in constant attack mode.
Not in this matchup. No way.
I agree. And you've got 11 minutes left to go. Both these teams with high-powered offense. The second you try to relax and try to take something off, you're going to open up opportunity for the other team. So they need to keep on attacking and taking what the defense gives them.
Midway through the shot clock, Ortega handed it off to Aldave, and now a free position for Andy Aldave, who already has 4 goals to her name today.
It'll be interesting to see if she pulls this out.
What would you do?
I did see a signal from the sideline from Emily Perros, slow it down, but I could have misread the signal. Oh, okay.
You were right
She's
on
gonna
it.
pull it out. And I think that was the smartest decision. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Work for the best shot. You don't have to always take that first opportunity.
Here's Olivia Dirks. Has a step, no angle though. Sends it back to Humphrey. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Ortega, the initiator. Scales meets her stride for stride. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. BC has it.
What a pickup. An excellent check. Let's see who gets possession. Is that a timeout?
Well, here's the difficult part of that. They did blow the whistle for a timeout, but Martello didn't have full possession. She was still bobbling it out of her stick. Now, she did recover it, but I don't know how you could give Boston College the timeout when they didn't have clear possession. Well, the timeout is issued to Acacia Walker-Weinstein anyway. Trailing by 5 goals, a little less than 10 minutes left in this game. A terrific battle. 2 undefeated teams, 8-0. It feels like these two have separated themselves from the pack 1-2. But let's give some love to some other programs around the country. These two are the top. Who else do you have in the power rankings here?
I mean, there's so many great teams. We talk about the parity each year. Syracuse, I think, has demonstrated they had a tough loss to Florida this week, but their offense, when clicking, can be very tough to beat. Maryland, you see the picture there, Roar accordingly. Another transfer making big waves here. She came from Johns Hopkins, been so strong. They won in the game right before us. Northwestern, Lauren Gilbert is definition of speed. Just so strong, so tough to beat. I think this team, they will get better as the season goes on. You're looking at North Carolina, and we may have to adjust that ranking.
Yeah.
Right now, number 2 with
Yes.
the depth, and we've seen that depth on display. And then Boston College, undefeated coming into this game, and Charlotte North, and she's showing why she's the best player in the nation, but they have been struggling to get all the pieces to work today against this game against UNC.
Dana, who outside the top 5 would you put into the mix?
I really like Michigan and what Hannah Nielsen is doing. I called their first game against Notre Dame, and they put a beating on the Irish. Offensively, they look great. They're quick. Defensively, they've got an awesome goalkeeper, Weissman. I think they could make a run deep into the NCAA tournament.
Well, it's just March. Plenty of time left in this season, but you do get the feeling that these two teams today, Boston College and North Carolina, 1A and 1B, likely the first of 3 meetings, chapter 1 of the story that'll likely be written Memorial Day weekend.
Great double team. Somehow Belle Smith's able to evade some of that pressure. Smart to pass out of that and kind of reset the field.
Game plan here down the stretch for the Eagles. Down 5, 10 minutes to go.
You want to make sure they're going to get the ball back there, so luckily not a costly turnover, but they've got to start converting on some of the shots, get some good looks. Still plenty of time. I mean, this is a 5-goal game, over 9 minutes to go. We've seen BC be able to string goals very quickly, but locked down defensively.
Here's North driving against Trenchard. She's been effective operating behind the cage. Now Belle Smith with it. What a flip! Couldn't get the finish, though, after a terrific effort from Belle Smith. North now. Trenchard draped all over her. Now Mossman, the dangerous lefty. Mossman dispossessed. Gabby Hall with the cause turnover.
Great defensive effort there. UNC, and they've been dangerous in transition, letting the ball do the work.
Room to operate again. Ortega tried to dump it off to the doorstep and instead gave it right back to Boston College. Nearing 8 minutes left to this fourth quarter, Dana. When, sense of urgency-wise, you just want to go full-out attack trailing by 5?
I think 10 minutes ago. I mean, I think you've got to put the brakes on, in not necessarily on defense, but on offense. You got to go to Cage. You got to move the ball. And I think the adjustments that they made in that third quarter for Boston College worked really well for them. So defensively, UNC is giving them a little bit of trouble. They're having a difficult time getting into their rhythm. They got to work that two-man game.
Scoreless in the second quarter, went more than 20 minutes without a goal. Then scored 4 goals in 3 minutes, and really since that stretch, they've looked out of rhythm again.
And you've got to credit the UNC defense. I mean, they're playing out of their minds. Emma Trenchard was out with an ankle injury. She doesn't look like it necessarily marked up on Charlotte North.
Great feed there. Charlotte North went up top, and Medjid just found a hole to poke it through. Much needed goal for Boston College. Back within 4. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to this fourth quarter.
Great play here. North gets the ground ball, then is able to take this to goal. She's going to draw the double team. Medjid, beautiful job reaching up high, then resetting herself, getting composure, great assisting goal. And take a look here at the senior attacker from Garden City, New York. Third-team All-American last year. 4 goals in that 2021 semifinal versus UNC.
North Carolina's capable. They know what Jen Medjid is capable of. They learned it firsthand in that semifinal a year ago. Now, 7 minutes and 20 seconds from getting that revenge, the pain that they lived with all off season. But don't look now. Boston College, they are not going down without a fight.
And they can string together these possessions. It starts defensively. You got to limit these UNC shooters. When you are doubling, make sure the slide is there. UNC's been really working the ball around and finding those open players. And when BC, they've got to make sure they limit their turnovers offensively. And I'd go hard. Try to get fouled, try to draw the double team, and then create something off of that. See a push call, and it's going to go UNC's way.
Another hard foul against Courtney Taylor. And that's a yellow card.
Yellow card.
I believe that's her second. I think she was called for one of the first half.
She was called, so 2 yellow cards, you're removed for the rest of the game.
And her day is done.
So that's a big loss, one of the best defenders for this BC team. And now UNC will be a player up for up to 2 minutes. So watch the, it was an extension of the arm. You can card that if the official deems that overly aggressive or dangerous, can be carded.
Well, here's what I would say. It seemed like after Boston College lost a draw, they went really aggressive. And you kind of sense that a big foul was coming, and you have to call it almost to try and limit the physicality. Big error, though, for North Carolina. Woman up, leading by 4. You thought they would have killed a lot of clock. Instead of turnover, gives the ball back to BC. Do the Eagles have something in them? A woman down. Excellent passing. Belle Smith, the goal! Woman down goal for Belle Smith. And Boston College right back in it.
That was amazing. From the turnover, the passing on display, the patience. You're down by a couple goals. You know you want to score, but they waited for the right opportunity. That was absolutely beautiful. Excellent job here. Weeks with a head of steam. Just the tic-tac-toe passing, and Belle Smith with the finish. Love Martello, down to Mossman, to Belle Smith. Gotta love that.
That's textbook, Sheehan. You know from playing. That is how you beat the press. You tic-tac-toe, like you mentioned, and you move the ball because it moves so much faster, and they recognize that the UNC defense, they didn't have numbers, and instead Boston College did. That was beautiful.
I love that call, too, attacking the cage hard, even though they were a player down. You keep on going, that obviously they still will be a player down. It goes back to the draw. But that was a great awareness and a much-needed goal.
North Carolina still a woman up. 6 minutes and 26 seconds remain, but this is a Tar Heels team that led by 6. And now the lead down to 3. Charlotte North wins the draw. North Carolina still a woman up, but we just saw Boston College score a woman down goal, so you expect them to attack the cage again?
I do. I mean, I think they can't let any of these chances go. So we'll see if Charlotte North, who's easily able to beat the double teams, if they have her start attacking the cage.
Mastriani going over to give some aid to Emma Trenchard.
So it looks like BC's gonna wait till they get to full strength. I wouldn't have mind seeing them go, trying to attack, trying to draw a foul. Still, though, plenty of time left.
North through the double team. Are you kidding me? Charlotte North scores the woman down goal. Boston College back within 2.
North is not going to go down without a fight. Gets her 4th of the day. Watch her try to split this double team and watch the pressure there. UNC wanted the charge call. Let's see if the defense is set. Mastriani's there. I don't know if North makes contact. Dana, do you have a look at that?
I don't think she makes contact.
Nope,
But
split 'em.
they did want the charge. Jenny was yelling from the sidelines.
I think she split them.
I think she split them. Yeah, she did. I mean, she's fearless. Like, if you give her any room as an attacker, she's going to make you pay for that. That's a perfect example. If you don't close the double on defense, she's going to expose you.
And what a turn of events in this game. I mean, North Carolina led by 6, 15-9, with 12:34 left to this 4th quarter. Then BC claws back, but North Carolina still leading by 4, and then they go a woman up, Dana, and BC rips it right back. 2 goals, a woman down. It's incredible.
It's incredible, and this is why you play the game. This is why all of these players came to Boston College. They came to UNC respectively for big games like this. You're never out of the fight in the ACC.
Last 3 goals scored by Boston College, and North comes up with a win, gets the goal, gets the draw.
Still about 20 seconds left in this woman up opportunity for North Carolina, and instead of capitalizing on it, they've allowed 2 goals. Woman down, BC battling with 5 minutes left to this 4th quarter. Strap in, buckle up. We've got a fun finish coming between the 2 best teams in the country. Back to even strength. Here's North. Left hand's free, just whizzed it wide, inches away from scoring again. Eagles have scored 3 in a row.
North can beat you from behind the cage up top. Let's see, Medjid just right to her right. Let's see if they work the 2-man game.
Right into the chest of Taylor Marino. North got it away quickly.
Great pickup for Ali Mastriani. Now's the time. If you're UNC, you still want to be aggressive. You have to handle the pressure. Look at this BC ride. But they want to make sure they have a good, strong possession here. Be careful with the ball. And really make this BC team anxious. They're down by 2 goals. They're going to be a little bit over-aggressive. Handle the pressure, but let the ball do the work and tire out the defense.
Ball back to Boston College. Jenny Levy is losing it down on the Tar Heel sideline. What's the explanation here?
So from what I can see, they were onside. The player was just by the white part of the football paint. But I don't know if the officials saw it.
Total confusion, but it's BC ball. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, trailing by 2. They were down by as many as 6 in this fourth quarter. And the final timeout taken by Acacia Walker-Weinstein to talk things over. Her team down 2. It's incredible when you think about it, Sheehan. North Carolina in the driver's seat the entire second half, looked comfortable. They get a woman up penalty, which should aid them, leading by 4, and yet BC scores the 2 woman down goals to get back in.
One, it would be remarkable. The 2 is pretty amazing, and you knew this fight was going to come when these 2 teams made their appearances again against each other.
How much fun has this been? I mean, the 2 best teams in the country. It's absolutely lived up to it on a beautiful day for lacrosse here in Chestnut Hill. Now, this game is delivered.
You look at this, UNC, the 9 different goal scorers, the depth is one of their strengths. BC held scoreless for over 20 minutes, no goals in that second quarter. And then North and Medjid came alive, scoring 7 of BC's 14 goals. And both North and Medjid have hat tricks in this second half.
And we've seen some spectacular goals. Let's take a look at our game reset.
Great score for Wurzburger. The UNC offense, and we've talked about the sharing of the ball, the offensive movement. Here BC gets one of the prettiest goals of the game with all their passing, and North gets this one when they are a player down, trying to battle back.
The reigning national champions with North Carolina, a team that did not lose in the regular season a year ago, a 20-0 record until they lost to this very Boston College team in the semifinal. So much skill, so much talent on the field. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in regulation. It's Boston College ball. What do you want here out of the timeout if you're BC?
You need to make sure that you're smart with possession. I think the ball works really well in Charlotte North's sticks. She gets a lot of the focus. We've seen her dish the ball off when she doesn't feel like she has the shot. And I think just keep on making the defense have to spin. And UNC just played good, patient defense. Don't force BC into anything.
Dana, I saw you in that North Carolina huddle. What did you learn?
I was listening to Phil Barnes break it down, but interestingly enough, he said, we need to switch on the pick, so that's a defensive adjustment. They've been staying on their picks in this game, so I know that this possession is big for both teams, but if North Carolina can get the ball back, that's huge.
The reigning national champions, Boston College, trailed by as many as 6. They've scored 3 in a row. Looking for a 4th errant pass, battle for the ball. Aldave has it for North Carolina. And now they'll go on the attack.
Huge ground ball that almost needs to be starred in the statistics. Big change of possession here. And now look for UNC to take a little time off. They know BC's gonna have to be anxious. BC, I think, should be putting on the pressure, start pressuring out right now.
And Sheehan, if you're UNC, you think they're in the driver's seat? I do.
They're in the total driver's seat now, and BC needs to force them out of it by getting the pressure out. I wouldn't mind them even pulling Rachel Hall, the goalie, out. They got to get the ball back.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah, if they let the shot clock play out, there would be 1 minute and 30 left. So maybe Acacia Walker-Weinstein says, as long as we get the stop, we can score 2 goals in that final 90 seconds, but that is a big if. Shot clock down to a little more than 30. Great spin. Hands were free, could not connect. Carolina there to back it up, though. Excellent effort from Scotty Rose Growney.
Yeah, I think BC needs to start putting on pressure, trying to get the ball back with a takeaway.
I think they're content to try and get the stop, even if it's a shot clock violation.
I think you can put the pressure on defensively without losing positioning.
That's an interesting tactical choice by Acacia Walker-Weinstein. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Sydney Scales to the rescue for Boston College. Shot clock down to 1 and expires. BC ball, 1:20 to go, down by 2.
Will they get the desired outcome? Let's see if they can push this.
The feed and a goal! BC back within 1. Kayla Martello with 1:07 left.
Unbelievable score. The BC defense comes up with that turnover. Fantastic take. Cassie Weeks just laying up the field, dishes it off to Martello, and she's able to let that one fly before the defense is able to collapse on her. So BC coaching staff, they get the win on that one, not forcing UNC to go to cage on that last sequence, still get possession.
The last time this was a 1-goal game, 5-4, all the way back in the second quarter. Boston College was down by as many as 6 of this fourth quarter. They have battled back a 1-goal game with a little more than a minute left.
BC scored the last 4 goals. Huge draw control right here.
Mastriani and North.
Both circle players of the draw on one side of the field.
And Charlotte North wins it for Boston College. 1 minute left in regulation. BC scored 6 of the last 7. North Carolina dominated for much of the second quarter and beyond. And yet here we go, the 2 best teams in the country, and it comes down to this. The Tewaaraton winner, national champion, NCAA record holder in goals from a year ago, Charlotte North. Trencher trying to body her up. North, contact, no call. North Carolina has it. 20 seconds to kill the clock. And a timeout taken.
Emma Trencher for UNC went down on that. We talked about how she had some ankle injuries in the week, and she is struggling to get up. But what a defensive effort for UNC. And actually, I do think Charlotte North charged on that. That could have been a charge call that wasn't called. We'll see the UNC training staff attend to Emma Trencher. Watch this take here. Trencher meets her. Oh, you see the slippage of the ankle. And there's where I see the charge call potentially. No call there, but UNC is able to get possession. Great double team for UNC with Brooklyn Walker-Welch and Emma Trencher. And hopefully she's okay. Good to see her walking off. Those ankle injuries can just be so lingering. So it'll be UNC ball.
Yeah, North Carolina ball, 20 seconds left. Emma Trencher not on the field, dealing with that ankle injury. Tar Heels trying to close out this win. 19.9 seconds away from traveling to Chestnut Hill and leaving with a huge road win. And you take a look at what North Carolina has done since 2019. They've won 43 of their last 45 games. The 2 losses in 2 semifinals, both to Boston College.
They remember that pain well, using it to fuel. They want that national championship. But any win against Boston College is going to feel good.
Absolutely. So now, how do you make sure you lock up the final 20 seconds coming out of this timeout if you're North Carolina?
You just need to make sure you have outlets. So you have to expect that Boston College is going to double team right now. I'd expect that BC leaves the goal open, and actually just either Rachel Hawley is on the sidelines, they're going to put an extra field player out there. Expect the double team, expect a lot of pressure, and really root, don't poot. You got to run out of trouble, don't pass out of trouble. BC's going to be looking for the turnover.
Sheehan, you mentioned spreading the field. I just watched Jenny draw up a nice basketball play on the whiteboard, and you know everyone needs to be spread out in this transition. This is pivotal. If they can get it into their offensive end, they will win the game. But it's not going to be easy because Boston College has quite the ride.
You see the yellow jerseys right there, so they are ready to triple team right now. And I'm trying to find the open player. Looks like Brooklyn Walker-Welsh across field.
Do you want to risk that pass if you're Emily Knowles?
Well, she's into the sun too, so you can see the shadows right now. See the officials trying to get everyone correctly positioned. I would not pass it in there, but maybe retreat backwards. There's not a certain area that you need to keep the ball in. Open player behind the cage for UNC.
Emily Knowles on the run. 15 seconds left. They get it to Moreno. Bell Smith called for poking Marino. Clock down to 5. And Marino heaves it. North Carolina holds on. Tar Heels 16-15, a thriller in Chestnut Hill. Boston College battled back, but North Carolina holds on and wins at 16-15. For Dana Boyle, Sheehan Stanward Birch, I'm Jay Alter saying so long, what a thriller.